Hello everyone, welcome back. This is going to be part 15 of my iPad Go-To breakdown series. I just want to start off by thanking you guys all for the views, subscriptions, comments, everything. I'm finding it hard to find my own videos, so I don't know how you're finding me, but I appreciate it. Please share, like them, all that fun stuff. So in this video, I'm going to continue on with some other breakdown into iPad Go-To that I haven't seen before. I'm going to cover what I think Bush's message, George Bush's hand gestures and messages at the start of iPad Go-To, as I think that I found something with American Sign Language that seems to show that Bush is using his hands in a very distinctive way to communicate a hidden message, I think. A final warning, I should say, by Helio font to the viewers. Okay, it's not a pleasant message, but we'll get into it. And then I just want to cover at the end some strange letters I've also found throughout the movie that maybe will spur on some new ideas. I love doing these videos simply because it allows me to take a deeper look at the movie, and I start finding things that I've never actually seen before. So let's get into this, Bush's sign language. This is a tough one to kind of talk through, guys, so please be patient. There's print screens, and I think you guys are going to have to go look at the video again to really get a sense of what I'm talking about with his hand gestures and specific positions. So when we look at George Bush, he comes in after he sits down on the chair. The first thing is he starts to make these weird hand gestures with his hands. So I looked into American Sign Language, and it's important to know that you only use your dominant hand for finger spelling and one-handed signs, whereas you use your non-left, like your non-dominant hand, as your partner hand. Okay, so we'll get into the more complex movements later, but I think at the start he starts signaling alphabetically with his hand in order to tell us a message. Okay, so what is that message? I'm going to start off with the end, and then we'll walk through and show you how I found these individual letters being signed. So I think he first signs a W, then another W. He then points to the third dot on the chalkboard from the phallic symbol. So WW3. He signs an L. The video then pans to the letter E on the chalkboard hangman game. He then signs an A-V-E, leave. And then we see him flashing the rock on symbol, or which in Universal Sign Language is I love you. Okay, so altogether is this Helio font's kind of message. WW3, greatest war of all time, the GOAT, iPad Go-To, WW3, leave, I love you. And leave from where? Okay, so let's get into these signs. So again, we're looking at his right hand, guys. George Bush is right-handed. So the first thing that he does is sign this hand, which is his three fingers up and his pinky and thumb touching, which is a W. Then Helio font seems to zoom in on his eyes, which is kind of like a break, a word break. Then he pans back to George Bush sitting like this, which is flashing again, another W. Three fingers up, his pinky and his thumb are down, are in. So WW. Then it pans again to his eyes. Then it shows this, so another break, and he points to the third dot coming from the phallic symbol. Okay, WW1, 2, and 3. Okay, so WW3. He's now signing an L with his dominant hand. Okay, index and thumb are out. All others are cramped. Then it zooms in very particularly on this dead man symbol with just the letter E. So L-E, A, He signs, now his right hand is kind of down and almost hidden, like down at the bottom of the video, but you can see him still signing with this hand. So I think he makes an A here, his thumbs up, his other fingers are cramped. Then he distinctively puts his index and middle finger up, wraps his ring finger over to touch his thumb for a V, and then cramps all of his fingers down before the movie pans away for an E. WW3, L, E, A, V, E. After this, he sits back in the chair, it zooms out, and he shows the double I love you sign to the user. To the viewer, sorry, not user, but the viewer, okay? So where? So I think this, like again, is WW3, leave I love you, leave where? I think this whole thing is a reference to the classroom with the map. So leave these locations specifically, right? We've seen this covered by other people. And one thing I don't think I've seen before is this reference to Oz. So I hope you guys can see this. The letters in the classroom beside the teacher over in the corner, they're all listed, and there's only 2 letters that are skewed or crooked, and it's O and Z. Okay? So Oz, I think this is an Oz reference, and the famous quote, "We're not in Kansas anymore." Okay? So I've never seen this pulled out, meaning Kansas won't look like itself anymore after the iPet Goat 2 events. Is Heliofont warning us to leave Oz? Okay. And these dots, of course, on the map, one being in the Gulf Coast, one being in Louisiana. This is Arkansas, sorry, not Arkansas. This is with Oklahoma City and New York. Okay. So let's take a look here. I think this WW3 leave Oz, okay, I love you. I think the map is been highlighted over the years as representing the centers for the attacks. This one in the Gulf Coast, obviously relating possibly to the oil dripping scene later on in iPet Goat 2. Conveniently, I think New York with Leave the World Behind, right, where all the bridges are being stuffed down, or all the bridges are being blocked by the Teslas. It's kind of like the center, right, of one of the attacks. And I think Texas also seems to might get isolated, right, with these attacks trying to essentially break communication possibly between everything, which coincides very well with the new movie Civil War that, you know, is being promoted everywhere and I think is coming out next year. So again, guys, I just want to cover this. I think this is very interesting. I think there's more to be looked at in terms of the tap dancing or tones, music, right, that's going on in the background. So please leave a comment what you think about this. Again, I'm not an ASL expert, but I think that I've kind of found something here. Now, this is where I need help. So there's complex gestures that Bush begins making after that statement. He starts moving both of his hands together, and I believe that these are complex signing gestures that obviously I'm going to keep following up. I'm learning ASL literally to try and decode this thing now, so it's hilarious. But yeah, I think that there's something being told here, okay? So please let me know. These are in sequence, but I have no idea what these symbols mean. Now, this is a new find as well, I think. I just have been finding these hidden letters across iPet Goat 2, and I'll just highlight some of them. So I think that this will also lead to another video, hopefully, as again, I do this to try and create new ideas that give me a new sense of looking deeper into different aspects of it. Okay, so we have iPet Goat 2 is the title of the movie. I think I've covered this in one of my previous videos, but I think, again, this whole thing needs its own. But these blocks, this could be an H. This could be a D. This could be a backwards F. There's a whole bunch of like these could be flipped to be another E or an A. Is this an L or two I's? Okay, there's so much going on with the numbers. Then we see this distinctive S on the ring. We see a D on the hat of George Bush. We see this O and the Z that are crooked on the on the letters. We have, excuse me, the N blank blank T blank LOVE on the chalkboard. We have F equals F underneath the chalkboard. We have LOL that shows up after Obama comes in. And this I've found that I've never seen covered before. I'm going to just take a few minutes here to show you guys this, okay? Because I found it very strange. First off, I've always found it strange that in this scene, Lily, before it pans to seeing all 12 of the characters, it first pans to this, which is just showing the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters. Okay, we see this object here, which I'm gonna. We have to do more deep diving into this section. Why it focuses on this area first. Okay, but what I want to cover are these distinctive letters that are shown as a different shade of like green on these blue characters. There's like an E. Okay, there's an E here. There's 3 stripes across his chest. We have an I here on his Trump's leg. We have a distinctive coloring here. Okay. I'm going to back up and bring back the other image, which is this one. And I'll show you even more letters. So there's a distinctive coloring difference right here. I don't know what letter that is. We have that I here. We have a distinctive L right here. We have that hidden E, which is behind Lily on that man's chest. We have a V. We have an O. Okay. I am not sure what this is trying to tell us, but I think that there's some sort of message going on in the bodies of these characters that hasn't been covered before, that I think needs to be. The other thing are all of these vines in the background. I've seen so many iPet Goat 2 videos, but I still don't think that we've nailed it. There's just still too much going on here in the background that needs to be figured out. Okay, but so I'm seeing these letters CILVEO, exit, right? The exit at the back lights up. The C and the L on the apple rolling when it comes over to hit the boot. So just keep these in mind, guys. Maybe a comment or something if you have any ideas, but I'll come back to these in another video. So thanks again, everyone. Much appreciated. Have a great day.